everybody. Welcome to Impossible Coin. I am Brian Cartwright, and I am joined from Ohio by Tegan Somerset.
Yep, that's me. I'm here.
Bolstering Ohio's numbers on today's show, Rocky Hardy.
Hey, howdy, how you doing?
I tell you what, Ohio is just wildly overrepresented now at this point. We're very Ohio podcast.
That's okay. They're trying to cull our numbers, you know?
Jeez.
These Canadian wildfires sure are out here.
Well, I mean, the train spill happened first, so...
Yeah, the train spill happened first. That's true. That is very true.
I love the fact that when you all say the train spill happened first, that I can now respond with, which train spill?
Right, honestly.
Yeah. My goodness. How are y'all doing?
Hey, I'm all right.
Hanging in here.
Fair enough. Okay. It feels like we've been a while since the three of us have had an opportunity to assemble. So I think the biggest and most pressing business we've got, and the thing that likely our listeners most want to know right now, is there is someone on our show who has a very deep and personal relationship with The Legend of Zelda. So Tegan, hit us with, what do you think of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom?
It is absolutely Breath of the Wild Part 2. So if you didn't like Breath of the Wild, you're probably not going to like Tears of the Kingdom. I haven't, despite playing over 170 hours, I'm not very far. I do have 434 Koroks and 79 shrines completed, but I've only done like 3 or 4 memories, and I've only helped the Rito and the Gerudo people. So not very far at all things considered. How have you been liking it, Brian? This was like the one game you said you were for sure going to pick up, so...
Yeah, I think that, I think the thing of, if you didn't like Breath of the Wild, you won't like this, or this wouldn't be for you, is right on the money. I think that one of the things that I like about this is that, one of the things that I liked most about Breath of the Wild was how much of the moment-to-moment gameplay of the game was very, very systems driven and very mechanically driven. This game wants you to build weird bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And very much rewards you for doing so, and rewards you for just getting in there and building strange objects, and the reason that is satisfying is very, very mechanical. And nothing like getting a weird idea and being will this work? And then having it work. It is be okay, do I have adequate supplies to do this? Yes. And having something go the way that you a good example is building something which is essentially one of those giant desktop perpetual motion machines where something just swings back and forth, and then being why yes, Stone Talus, I'm going to trick you into walking into the path of this perpetual motion machine that I built, so I can just stand there and watch you die and not have to do anything.
Oh my god. So
I avoid
I avoid building stuff at all costs. I don't build if I can avoid it. I don't like it. I like sticking the pieces that are like, I like doing the little like Addison puzzles. For those who may not be aware, Addison is like a builder for the Bolson Construction Company, and he's putting these signs all around Hyrule. And usually he's next to like a stack of building supplies so that you have easy access to materials, but sometimes he's just like hanging out in the middle of nowhere and you gotta figure it out yourself. I like doing those puzzles, but I don't like building machines. There's too many Zonai pieces. I don't keep track of them. I forget they exist. And so I just don't use them. I just can't. I can't wrap my head around it.
I just love that, like, you know, like, because Breath of the Wild was already a game which, like, was keeping track of, like, just, like, so many, like, different, like natural laws as far as, like, the way, like, the, you know, like, the property of things work in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kind of like, oh, okay, like, this is a body of water, this is a body of water. If I put metal between the two body of water and then electrify this body of water, then that enemy over there will die, that kind of thing. Like, like that, like I love that stuff. Or like, oh, look, there's like 7, like bad dudes over there encamped, and they're trapped because of that cliff behind them. So if I set the brush on fire here, they'll have nowhere to go and just get burned. Like I loved the fact that like Breath of the Wild was like so like in like the moment to moment. It's like gameplay is like so systems driven, and they would just be like ask the player like, you know, how do these systems interact with each other? How can you manipulate the systems in ways that are fun? And then like all of a sudden like handing the player what feels like tantamount to a bunch of Legos and saying like do some crazy bullshit is like really, really fun. Like I think that's like my biggest takeaway. I really dig that. Like, yeah, keeping track of the stuff to make this stuff is like definitely frustrating. And I can tell you that before some patches, I was definitely using some exploits which just like clone stuff to make stuff. Or it's like, oh, if I pause it right here, I can just like clone these inventory items. Like that's helpful. Or I can clone these building resources. And like some of that is like less possible now, but it's not all impossible.
Right.
Yeah. In fact, I saw something online which like I thought, while I wouldn't use the exact same language, it like captured the like kind of like close to the philosophy I'm thinking about. Like somebody said, like Tears of the Kingdom is a game that wants you to Tears of the Kingdom is a game that wants you to cheat. And while I don't necessarily like think that I would use that exact same language, what I would say is Tears of the Kingdom is a game that encourages you and wants you to do things which are outside of what is prescribed or directly taught to you.
Sure.
That's fair. Yeah, that's how it's a game with a lot more creative freedom in that sense.
Yeah.
Like they really just go, well, here are the tools. What will you build? And it turns out 900 people will build Korok roasting devices, you know? And other people will build things that absolutely break the Geneva Convention, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, God, yes. Oh, God, perpetual motion machines make me so happy. They do.
And meanwhile, It's just like I got dumped a box of Lego pieces. I'm like, cool! I don't know what to do with this. So I build one square and I go, that was fun. I'm gonna go back to my regular play pretend with swords, thanks. Like, I think the place I build things the most is in shrines. And then I leave the shrine and immediately forget everything the shrine taught me about what I was building with the pieces that it provided me. And I just get on my little air bike and I go find another Korok.
I think that like that's a good call out though, Tegan, about like being the place where you do the most building, because I think that Breath of the Wild taught me to do some bullshit inside of its shrines. I think that the most notable example, and the one that was like shared by like a lot of players, was you know, it's like, hello, hi, this shrine is a marble moving puzzle. We would like if you move this marble within the maze. Isn't that great? And it's like, well, what if I just turn the gamepad over and have a smooth surface, and now I don't have to navigate a maze at all? Like that, like it is definitely like inside of the shrines that, like Breath of the Wild and in turn Tears of the Kingdom teaches me like fuck them rules. Like that was where I started being like, oh, okay, electricity from here to here. Why bother to do like the puzzle that you've laid out when like I can neatly like create a like row of swords from my inventory to just do this to get the electricity from point A to point B and not have to like do the puzzle, because the answer is just solve the puzzle however you can, and like, you know, I choose to complete the circuit this way. Which is
And they're
like
like, great, you still get like the little prize sound, like, good job, you completed the circuit.
Exactly.
Which is fun. You're rewarded for like whatever you did.
Right.
Successful completion. It doesn't matter how.
Right. And so like, while I wouldn't use the language like the game wants you to cheat, I do think that like it just wants you to like find solutions however you can. Which I think is a cool feeling, and like now that the game has like these like expanded resources and additional tools, like I think that is an even bigger feeling. Because I know that we have talked about on the show in the past how my experience when I played Skyrim was that like one of the things that I focused on in the game was to get my conjuration in the game up to level 100, and how I would just like walk into a room, summon like 2 demonic Dramoras, because at level 100 conjuration you have twin conjuration, and just like summon these like 2 like horrible things, and then like while the 2 horrible things are killing whatever is in the room for me, I'm already like looting the room. I'm just like walking around gathering my loot while it's still having the fight. And like building perpetual motion machines kind of feels the same way.
Sure.
Because then all I'm doing is like building the thing and then baiting something to walk into the path of it. And like that feels real good. Real good. And like I did not expect Tears of the Kingdom to like scratch my Skyrim itch in that way. Because like in Breath of the Wild, very much like if I was gonna have a fight, like I needed to be the one to have the fight.
Sure.
Like, there was no way to not do it. And I will tell you what, like there was a thing in Breath of the Wild that like as I got close to end game and I was killing most things in the game pretty handily, you know, because of like my combination, because I definitely like the gear that I wore in Breath of the Wild was like mostly the like fuck 'em up but good gear, the thing that like doubled the damage.
Oh, the Barbarian's armor.
Yeah, that's the one. Loved wearing the fuck 'em up but good gear. That even though I was wearing the fuck 'em up but good gear and I was killing most stuff pretty handily, there was still a thing in Breath of the Wild that would like roast me pretty handedly. And that was the Lionels.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, everyone got roasted by Lionels.
Not everyone got roasted by Lionels.
I mean, like.
It
Even
wasn't
Alex.
me. It wasn't me who wasn't roasted by Lionels. I was roasted handily. It was Alex. Alex was just like, I figured out exactly when to time the flurry rush, and so they never hit me anymore. Haha.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God damn it.
But I
And
mean,
he still does it. And I'm like, God damn it.
well, it's just the muscle memory. He has it. His hands contain the memory.
It's the Dark Souls.
Yeah.
The Dark Souls in him. He recognizes it. He's like, this is the tell. I know it. Haha. Wild.
Yeah.
Which is why it is especially satisfying to build a Lionel killing contraption.
Yeah.
And then be like, hello, Mr. Lionel, how are you? And then Lionel's like, I want to charge you. And I'm like, that's the idea, shithead. That feels real fucking good. Real good. And then when it like shakes off the initial hit, and it's like, aha. And I'm like, that's right. You want to try it again, baby? You want to charge, Brian? I know you shook that off. Come on. And like 3 are good, 4 charges of my fucking Lionel killing contraption. And I'm like, that's right. Burn in hell. It just feels so good.
So what is your Lionel killing contraption?
What's that?
If
What
one
is it?
wanted to rebuild your Lionel killing contraption, how would they
So
do
the
it?
Lionel killing contraption is a little different than my Stone Talus or Henix killing contraption.
Mhm.
Because the walk pattern is different for Lionels. Really, like with Henixes or Taluses, you just build a big thing that swings back and forth, like I cross just like a single like 2-dimensional 180 degree plane, like kind of like a those like ball things that the business dudes put on their desk.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, you build a ball thing for business dudes. But what you do for Lionels is you're like, okay, I'm going to take this giant fucking log, and this thing rotates on a 360 degree plane on a 2-dimensional plane. So like once it gets going, it never stops, but it has like a 360 degree area that it covers. So then all I have to do is just like stand behind it with enough room so that way it doesn't hit me. And then as it tries to charge me, because I've thrown bait at it, then it's like, oh, I'm coming towards you. I'm like, yeah, I know. And no matter how you come at me, that fucking log is going to hit you because the log is swinging in a circle. And it just, yeah, that's right.
Hang on. You're telling me you made a sprinkler system to deal with Lionels?
That is correct.
Oh my god.
Fuck them. They finally got what they got coming to them.
Amazing.
Like I've wanted to taste their murder since 2017, and now they enjoy my fucking Lionel sprinkler system, where I water the ground with their fucking blood. There we go. Like this vendetta has been like what, 6 years coming? 6 years coming? Yeah,
yeah,
that's
right.
right. Fuck them. They started it.
Got him.
That's right. It was like what? There was like one Lionel in Breath of the Wild that I was able to like reliably kill, which was that one. Oh God, I'm trying to think of where it was geography wise, but like I know that like looking at the Lionel, there was like immediately near to its stupid little clearing, there was like a very very narrow ass tiny little peak that looked down on it. And what I would do is I would just stand at the top of that little tiny ass peak and then just like drop in front of me down the steep slope round bombs that would just roll into the clearing, which would then catch the Lionel's attention. And I would like detonate the round bombs and it would piss off the Lionel. And because it has a great distance attacks too, it would try and like get me up at the top of my peak. And when it would start its distance attacks, because it couldn't climb up the steep hill, I would have to like hang off the side of the back of that little peak, chewing things that give me stamina, and then climb back to the top and then roll more bombs. That was the only fucking Lionel in Breath of the Wild that I was able to like do a murder too. But
Right.
now they get sprinkled. I sprinkle you. Sprinkle.
Oh my god. I didn't know there was a blood feud going on here.
They fucking started it.
Oh my god. Of course they did.
Yep.
Tegan, where's that cliff face? The one that Brian's talking
So the one that I'm thinking of, which I don't think is the one that Brian is thinking of, is in the spot above Zora's Domain, where they first, like, if you follow the plot of the game, it's your first encounter with a Lynel. It's surrounded by, like, it's a pain in the butt to climb, and there are a ton of shock arrows up there that, like, the Zora wants you to get. But that one has, like, there's, like, a pretty steep incline that the Lynel can't just run up with its hooves. And it does overlooks Zora's Domain specifically, but, like, you can use that peak as, like, a ramp down. But I don't think that's the one Brian's talking about.
Brian?
I think that is.
Oh, is it? Nice.
I think that's the one. Yeah.
GG's.
Aha! That's what I get for walking everywhere. I will say, because I did recently, like, walk the entirety of the map, I have a very good understanding of, like, oh, this is where I am now, and this is where I have to go to get to this particular location, like, major area of the map. So I could be like, oh yeah, I can just walk to, you know, Hateno, I can just walk to Lurelin, I know where all those places are, easy. But also because of that, every time something's a little bit different on the side of the road, I'm like, will they appear here? And then I get mad, and I get really, really paranoid. Oh my god.
Word.
The hands are too much, man. They make me cry every time I see them. I don't like them.
Killing the hands yet, Brian?
Yes.
Have you
Okay.
caught the hands? Have
I'm
you
sorry,
defeated? Have you caught the hands and defeated what comes after?
What I'll say is that we are still in the lab trying to figure out an appropriate machine.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you figure out an appropriate machine, please let me know what that machine
yeah.
is, because I cry, sob, heaving sobs, asthma attack every time. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
What if I didn't? What if we just were friends? What if you left me alone?
Yeah. So, I mean, the thing about the Lynels is that they will leave you alone long enough if you keep your distance that you can build your bullshit. Not so here.
Right.
Absolutely. The hands are like you'll see the pool spawn, and it's like, oh no, I have mere seconds.
That's the one. That's the fucking one.
I have time to access the menu, and that's it.
God.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I don't actually hate it. I think it's good. I have no idea what it means lore-wise, but like, the response it elicits is correct. You know?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's the sound.
They fast.
So fast. Oh my god. Do you have your gloom suit yet?
No.
No!
Yeah, which is why the hands really fucking suck.
Oh no.
Yep. Oh.
You need the gloom suit. It's very helpful. It looks cool. And it's not that expensive. You just need like a, 200 million pose or whatever.
Okay.
A small price to pay. Or whatever. I don't know if it's a small price to pay. I just got it.
Rocky, have you picked this up?
No,
Is it part of your plans?
it is not.
Okay.
Rocky's busy with Final Fantasy.
I have a lot of things on my plate, actually.
And I think it's Rocky is the Final Fantasy that you're busy with Final Fantasy XVI or is it XIV?
Ivy.
For people who can't do Roman numerals in their head, Rocky's playing 14, not 16.
Not 16.
Not the one which is King of Thrones.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
What? What do you mean King of Thrones?
He's riffing on Game of Thrones as a joke.
No, I understand that, but how is it like Game of Thrones?
Oh,
I don't know the plot, so I don't know.
16, or at least during like the dev cycle, they repeatedly noted Game of Thrones as like a design and like narrative reference. And apparently the story is like, they'll introduce characters and kill them off. It'll be like raunchy and like dangerous, and you'll know which characters are going to survive, and they did that on purpose.
Ah, okay. Huh. Interesting choice, I guess.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. It's a whole thing. All right. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, have fun with 16, whoever's playing it. I'm not going to begrudge you.
This is one of those, I'm sure it's a fine video game situations.
Yeah.
It's not going to, like, revolutionize anything, though.
I don't know. I think it might signal that like Square Enix is moving away from or moving more directly into action combat for their mainline releases, which is cool. Honestly, like apparently it's great. They got the original DMC guy, and if Final Fantasy turns out to be an action combat game, that could be cool. I mean, action combat and big cinematics is not a bad business plan at all.
So, Rocky, I think I saw something. It might have been on Twitter. I apologize. It's kind of a blur.
Sure.
Did you recently experience some kind of like major gaming accomplishment?
Oh, I mean, sort of. There are some things that are going on. I've been working my way through the raid tier in Final Fantasy XIV, and I spent 3 weeks trying to beat this last fight. And I beat it last Thursday. That was nice. I was a huge fan of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been playing some demos that have like warmed my heart, and that's been cool. But outside of that, some of my other accomplishments are still forthcoming.
Okay.
It's one of those things where you gotta let it cook a little bit. It's simmering or whatever.
I'm still cooking. Yeah.
I don't understand food metaphors. I don't cook, so I don't get it.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just like, wow, everybody's cooking, I guess. I wonder what they're making. And then it'll just be like, I did a thing finally. And I'm like, oh, is that what that means? Oh.
Yeah, where's the food, though? I thought that's what we were waiting for.
Yeah. Well, especially because like I first saw you being like, no, let him cook. And I was like, well, I know Rocky makes some good food. What's going on?
Oh my God, Teeks.
I'm ready to see this tech. And then it'd just be some, it'd be followed up by like a Final Fantasy raid map that looks like a shit post. And I'm like,
yeah,
this isn't what I thought was happening.
This doesn't look delicious at all. Like, I get that. That's fair.
I am confused and hungry.
Jesus.
Let's see here. Aki, what you been playing, man?
I'm still playing League, and I play Final Fantasy. I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter 6. I haven't been streaming as much lately because of other things, but I've been playing through, I've been playing online. I did my ranked placements and I made it to gold, which apparently is like in the upper like half of like ranked players, which is nice. I've been playing this game Beastie Ball. Brian, can I tell you about Beastie Ball?
Yeah, sure.
Brian would love Beastie Ball.
So Beastie Ball is like a monster it's a monster like game or whatever, but it's not battling. Instead of like, imagine Pokemon, right? And it's 2v2, but instead of battling the Pokemon, they all play a facsimile of volleyball. Like all of them. Naturally, like that's the thing that they like to do. And so you play as like a customizable character in a world where these beasties like play this game Beastie Ball. And you get a quest basically because your hometown is being the forest near your hometown, which is normally a nature preserve, is being like cut down in lieu of a stadium. And that's because the local gym no longer has pull with the league. So they just do whatever they want to like your side of the world or whatever. And so you go on a quest to play a bunch of Beastie Ball to get a bunch of clout, so that you can, stop them from tearing down your home. That's the meat and potatoes of it and whatnot. But it's really cool because you play as like when you get a beastie to join your team, you don't beat them up in like a game and then capture them with a ball. In fact, the capture mechanic is very specific. Instead, there's like a condition for each beastie, which is like in line with the way that they kind of like to play. Like, for example, there's like a bird, like a Roadrunner looking type bird, right? And if you move your beastie on your side of the field 3 times over the course of a match, then that beastie is interested in joining your team. It's like, oh, they're doing stuff. I can run like that. And so you can you can offer them a jersey after the match. If they're interested in joining your team, then they join your team. That's the entire capture mechanic. And as like beasties play together, they develop relationships. 1 of 4, which is, got to make sure I have this right. It's like partner, rival, sweetheart, and I can never remember the 4th one. But basically, like as beasties play together, depending on like their individual natures, they basically learn more about each other and they form a relationship, which gives them like a new combo ability that they can use when they're on the field. And so, like, for example, like rivals, like because they're always trying to push past each other, they end up working together to do like a really big attack. And like partners, as they notice each other's movements, they're able to predict them because they become more comfortable with them. And then they're able to create situations that require less work, which like refills their stamina and allows them to move around the field a bit more effectively. This like type of like relationship building and like your interaction with like the beasties as a whole, it feels like what I've been wanting from like the Pokemon games for years. Like I've talked about how in one of the remakes, Heart Gold Soul Silver, they had a mini game that they obviously don't care too much about, or Game Freak Pokemon Company in particular, called the Pokeolympics, or Pokeathlon, that's what it was, where you can take your Pokemon and basically run them through a decathlon. And like they're using like the things that they're able to do as Pokemon, but they don't come out as attacks or like combat. And like Beastie Ball just seems like a game built around mechanics similar like that. It's being kickstarted at the moment. I played the demo like almost to death. If it does end up panning out, they're expecting to come out in like holiday 2024, which, if they take reasonable breaks, means it'll probably show up about summer 2025 or even later. But I'm very excited about this. And I've been keeping an eye on them. I'm in their Discord, talking with like the people that like to play it. It's overall a good time.
Oh, and I have the answer for you, Rocky. The 4th type is Bestie.
Besties, yes,
Besties!
Yes.
They are friends. Do not separate them.
And it's like, and it happens completely organically, as far as I can tell. Like, it's like a combination of like interaction between the 2 beasties and the play time that they're in matches. And then based on like certain, I guess, vibe, because like in Pokemon they're called natures and this one is called vibes. A combination of a vibe and like, playtime and interaction will ultimately allow them to form a relationship of one of the 4.
They're having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
It is so cute. It's so fun to watch.
It also has like great like the visual style has a lot of like callbacks to like Paper Mario. Like even your Protag like flips like when they're like walking around and stuff, but like the art style is like, it's not poly, like it's all like hand drawn, which is probably part of its charm. But it's hand drawn and it's kind of like derpy, for lack of a better term, off the top of my head. And it's fun to look at. That's the thing. Like it's it's not gonna win like most polygons or anything at the Game Awards or whatever, but I would be surprised if I ever get tired of looking at these little dudes.
I am here to go ahead, Tegan.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm here to let our listeners know that I'm now currently looking at the pictures online, and these are cute little dudes.
Oh yeah.
I wish more game companies would invest in cute little dudes. as a
exactly.
style. Like, I love a game style that's cute little dudes, you know? And I don't understand why everybody wants to be hyper realistic. I can see every pore in your face. Like, I really don't need that.
Yeah, I can just go outside. Like, what the fuck?
If I wanted to see the sun, I would leave my home.
Oh, also, Brian, I don't know if you've seen. You're probably looking at some pictures of like Shuga, which is like a little like squirrely looking thing. And it looks like it has big eyes. I'm here to tell you, those aren't eyes. That's actually its ear flaps folded down over its face. And like when it loses a match, actually, I think it's specifically when it loses, it'll flip up its ears, and then you can see like its little tiny eyes and stuff. Very cute. It's a good time.
Aw. So good. So good. Goodness. Thinking, what have you been playing?
Breath of the Wild.
Do you
Tears
mean
of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Breath of the Weath, Tears of the I'm sobbing. You know? Like that. That's what I've been playing. No, I picked up so the Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life remake came out as of time of recording last Tuesday. So the 27th of June.
Sure.
And I am almost through year 1, which is great. I forgot how much I don't necessarily remember about this particular Harvest Moon game.
Okay.
Like, it's like, oh yeah, each year is only 10, or each season is 10 days. And I was like, what? That seems real short. What? Because like in all the DS versions, it's like 28 or 29 days usually.
Right.
Sometimes 30. Sometimes they do a full 30. But like it's a full like month long that you live through. But this one, it's like, nope, 10 days a season. Ayo, there's a merchant guy who comes by on the 3rd and the 8th of every month. There's like a little archaeological site that you can mess with. Like that kind of stuff I remembered, but like the 10-day season I didn't remember. And so like the year literally has just flown by. Ironically, if you don't match with someone at the end of your first year, the game ends. And then you have to start over.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Because A Wonderful Life has a in-game 40-year cycle. So at the end of your first year, you have to get married so that at the beginning of your second year, you can have a kid. And then the whole thing is you grow old with the person who you married, and you watch your child grow up. And the people you befriend in town affect your child, and like who you married affect your child's future going forward. Like that's the whole point of the game. It's not the farming part that's the point of the game. Like in the other Harvest Moon games, this one it's about seeing your kid grow until they eventually like get married on their own and like move out or take over the farm, like one of the two, you know. And I totally forgot about that. On the plus side, so like when I was making my character, it let me choose like between the traditional boy sprite that like was the original like GameCube, you can only play as this one, or the girl sprite that they introduced in Another Wonderful Life when they did the DS remake. You can choose between either of those. You can choose your pronouns. The options are he, him, she, her, or they, them. You can choose any of those. And it seems like everyone will date you. So they took that from Harvestella and were just like, yeah, you can date anybody. So at this rate, I'm probably going to end up marrying my first original sweetheart, Cecilia, who's just a nice girl who works on the neighboring farm.
Sure.
Because I have accidentally wooed her.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
Sometimes it'd be like that. You know what? She's just like, can I come over and see your animals? And I'm like, yeah, you can come over and see my animals. And she's like, they're cute. And I was like, yeah, you're cute. And she was like, ah. And now she's at 7 hearts.
Oh my god.
But it's really cute because also, like, I'm far enough in the year at this point that I'm seeing the rival heart events. So, like, Nami and the guy who plays music and has a guitar, who I forget his name, like I'm seeing them like interact a lot more. I'm seeing Rock, who's like the hotel owner's lazy rich son, and the girl who like lives in the manor on the hill and practices piano all the time. I'm seeing like them start to interact and that kind of thing. But it does mean that I'm also seeing Matthew, who's the guy I'm actually trying to pursue, and Cecilia, who is pursuing me somehow. I'm seeing them interact a lot more, and I'm like, oh, but they're cute together. I don't want to break up their marriage.
Oh my god.
But if I marry them, it will break up their marriage. So
That's just how these games work. You're going to break up a couple by picking anyone.
I know, but I have to pick someone or the game's gonna end. Where is my my male protagonist NPC figure who just like moves into town and hangs out? Why isn't he there for me to pursue instead, so I don't have to break up all these happy couples? A real conundrum here. You know?
True. I actually saw something recently with Stardew. Apparently you can marry like this like sewer ghost instead of like any of the other romanceable options. So like you
Oh my god, for real?
Yeah. And so you can ask them to live with you, basically. And what happens is that there is no marriage ceremony, and you can't adopt children, which doesn't seem fair. But apparently they have very interesting dialogue options. And instead of like the kiss that you get with like your spouse in Stardew, like you hug.
Ooh. You hug the little sewer ghost?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like having a friend.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I should play. I can't get over like the art style for Stardew.
Fair enough.
Which is going to make my life really hard because I do want to play the Haunted Chocolatier game, which is like the next game that he's making.
Right.
But like, I don't know. It's cute. Like Stardew absolutely seems like something that I would enjoy playing. I just can't get around the art style. But I'm having a blast in A Wonderful Life. I got my sheep. I have some chickens. I'm naming all of my chickens after Zelda characters, as I do. And all of my cows and sheep are being named after Mario characters.
Oh my.
I don't know. That's just how I did it when I was a kid. I'm not very good at coming up with names. So my chickens are, I have Linkle, and I have Midna, and I have Zelda. They're my chickens, and Rodney, my rooster. And then for my cows, I have Daisy the cow, and I have Peach the sheep, and I have I did name my horse Epona because there is no other name for a horse. Yeah, I picked the brown horse so I can have Epona in my game.
Oh wait, Brian, do you have any thoughts on Elephant Daisy?
Elephant Daisy. Oh, do you mean like Elephant Mario, but when you're playing as Daisy in that game, you're going to be able to be Elephant Daisy?
Correct.
Amazing.
No.
Okay.
You said Elvin Daisy?
Elephant
Daisy.
Okay.
You know, the large mammal with a trunk and tusks.
Sure.
Generally
They have
gray.
large memories.
Gray and wrinkly in tone.
They have maternal societies, it turns out.
Yeah.
Or matriarchies, I guess. Those are the words.
Okay. I let's see here.
I don't know if there's an image of it yet.
It's not real. It's mostly fan art, which, you know, it's a dice roll. So
Time to go to DeviantArt. Time to revive that section of the show where we go to DeviantArt out of accident.
oh jeez.
Let's see here. Yep, don't like that.
Got him.
Easy, free.
Why are people this way? God damn it. Okay.
Goodness.
All right. Well, I guess there you go, Rocky. There are my thoughts.
Yeah,
Okay, here's what I would like.
Mhm.
I think it would be more fun if instead of just making everyone an elephant, everyone gets their own large animal persona instead.
I'm kind of mad that we didn't get Giraffe Luigi, but that's neither here nor there.
Giraffe Luigi would be great. I want Hippo Daisy because hippos just absolutely kill things all the time, and Daisy would absolutely murder a man at the drop of a hat. So, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like that's more true to the character.
Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ. Hippo Daisy.
Hippo Daisy! Be great.
Man, I'm sorry, Rocky. I'm still transfixed, Rocky.
Yeah, I know. Got him. you think I didn't know that? Like,
Rocky said knowing full well you were going to end up down a rabbit hole somewhere.
Yeah, I'll see you in like 20 minutes, Brian.
Jeez.
Actually, hold on. While Brian's stunned, I did want to talk to you guys about something. So, like, the Holodate sequel came out, right? And I watched it, and I had a good time. I don't think it's a good movie, but I had a good time. Brian, do you remember me yelling about this a while back?
I mean, about Holiday in general, or the fact that they were making a sequel. I don't recall. Well, I don't recall sequel yelling.
Okay, so Holodate, for people who don't know, is a terrible movie that stars Luke Bracey and Emma Roberts that is still on Netflix, in which a couple who are not great people decide to date each other on the holidays so they don't get bothered by societal expectations or their families, and they ultimately become a couple. There's another movie that this pair actually got signed on for. It's not actually a Holodate sequel, but I like to think of it as one because Luke Bracey and Emma Roberts are both still together and they're actually contemplating marriage. Luke Bracey's trying to get out of it because, like, you know, he's terrified about the future of marriage and blah, blah, blah.
Right. Commitment issues.
But the thing is that in the film, which is called Maybe I Do, which is available on Hulu to watch, go figure, stars Luke Bracey and Emma Roberts. And as they're contemplating marriage, it turns out their parents have never met. And so they orchestrate a dinner for their parents to meet, who are played by Diane Keaton, Richard Gere, Susan Sarandon, and William H. Macy, respectively. And it turns out that the parents already know each other because they're having affairs with each other. Richard Gere is having like a long-standing affair with Susan Sarandon, while Diane Keaton and William H. Macy have like a single date, but they contemplate running away together, and then they meet at this dinner. Shenanigans ensue. Again, I don't think it's going to win any awards, but I had fun watching it.
They've been having these affairs?
I'm sorry?
How long have they been having the affairs?
Richard Gere and Susan Sarandon have been sleeping together for months, it turns out. Like, they have a hotel. They have, like, a particular suite that they use. The staff recognize them. William H. Macy and Diane Keaton actually both go to a movie alone and then see each other alone, and they, like, decide to watch the movie together and spend the rest of the evening, like, hanging out. They do go to a cheap motel, but there isn't any funny business as far as I remember.
Gotcha. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
So there's no potential concern that, like, actually these two are
like siblings
in some way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
No. Yeah.
Okay,
that's not a real concern. Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. Then it sounds like a lovely time.
Yeah.
And by lovely, I mean terrible.
I mean, it was pretty wacky. I think Susan Sarandon is probably the standout, but you probably could have guessed that, Brian. But everyone seems to pull their weight. It seems like a fun movie to me.
Okay, so I guess I do have some questions.
Of course.
So this is not a true. All right.
It's not a true sequel. No.
Okay.
It could be, though.
Yeah, like, I just like thinking of it that way, but basically someone saw Luke Bracey and Emma Roberts on screen. It's like, we could put this couple in something else. And then they called in, like, the fucking rom-com all-stars to be their parents, and then they made that movie.
I will briefly take issue with the idea of describing William H. Macy as a rom-com all-star.
That's fair. I'm willing to accept that.
Yeah.
I put him on my team, but I get what you're saying.
But I could definitely see, Richard Gere, definitely a lead and an all-timer.
Mm-hmm.
Susan Sarandon, definitely a lead and an all-timer. Diane Keaton definitely has starred in several of those autumn years rom-coms.
Mhm.
Autumn year rom-coms. And I guess, technically she's the lead in Annie Hall, which is also an all-timer. So yeah.
Okay,
I
well,
got you.
I understand that The Deal is not everyone's favorite movie, but I do want to assuage your concerns. Is that when they credit the other three, Richard Gere, Diane Keaton, and Susan Sarandon, they're all on one screen, and then the following screen they say "and William H Macy."
Okay.
I have a stupid question.
Sure.
What is an autumn years rom-com?
Hit it, Brian.
Okay, so autumn years rom-coms
Uh-huh.
are about folks who are generally somewhere like 50-ish to 65-ish, sometimes as late as 70. And like the plot is, they're old. Isn't it adorable that they still experience human emotions? Isn't it adorable? See, look, they're in love. Old people can love too. Look
Right.
at the olds having love.
Okay.
That's an autumn years rom-com.
Gotcha. Okay.
Where-
And like one of their like spouses has died or whatever, and the other one's like recently divorced or some shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, some garbage, or maybe another good conceit is this character has had a very career-driven life, and now they've realized there are things out there which are not the hard work they do at the office, like love. Just
Now they just put those in Christmas or Hallmark rom-coms.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
yeah.
I was gonna say that sounds like a Hallmark movie, but like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Now it is. Before
Yeah.
it wasn't.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Autumn years rom-coms are like very oftentimes not actually targeted toward people in their autumn years.
Right.
So that way people who are younger can be like, oh, that's nice. Look at them. Aren't they old? It's like,
Look at the cute old people.
Aren't
Yeah,
they
it-
old?
it's a very condescending film genre.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, it sounds cute.
It's cute until you realize that's the only thing they'll put these actors in.
Okay. I have a question.
Sure.
A second question. This is a less dumb question. Can we have more rom-coms, please? I'm personally tired of every major movie coming out being like, it's the end of the world and only these 6 white men can save it.
So like
I'm tired.
so here's there's a complicated answer to that question, right? The truth is there are a lot of rom-coms. It's just like no major studio is going to make them, and they're all kind of trash. And it's because they don't want to invest in it anymore. And there's things you got to do to make a good rom-com. Like I feel like if they brought back chemistry tests, where like they have actors like interact in a space and like watch them for a bit and like, oh, they could be in love, then maybe they would make better films. But also you get the stuff. God, Brian, what's the name of that one like actor that's like with Sydney Sweeney in like a rom-com that like they're yelling about on Twitter? Do you know her? Do you know that guy's name?
I'm sorry, not offhand.
Like Sydney Sweeney is supposed, if I remember correctly, is like set to be in a rom-com, and like all the PR leading up to it is like, man, isn't this guy married? Like they're in love. Like I couldn't sit at home while my husband's out here doing this shit, and I can't think.
Oh,
of
that
the
sounds
guy's-
great, actually. That
Yeah.
sounds like a perfect movie.
Right, like it's gonna be a good rom-com, I think, actually. But like I can't remember what the guy's name is, but like a lot of that PR is like part of the reason that like studios don't want to deal with it because they don't know if it's good PR or bad PR. But like there are a lot of actors, especially actors that are stuck in like the action movie like Marvel genre, essentially. Marvel's not a genre, but you know what I'm saying.
Marvel is a genre at this point.
That like they want to do more rom-coms, but like studios don't want to make them because like they often flop, which they do, but also like there are so many of them that get pumped out every year because they barely need a script. They're just bad. And like making one good rom-com in a sea of like, I don't know, 70 that come out in a year, doesn't feel like a good deal for studios for some reason.
So, and I guess we'll try and move off this topic quickly. But like the only real input that I have here, is it feels like across media types, whether it be video games or film or what have you, is that because companies that produce them, be they like video game developers or movie studios, are so risk averse at this point, that they're only really interested in making films or games that are part of existing franchises, because those represent, to their mind, less risk. And when it comes to the idea of rom-com specifically, Tegan, like nobody's out here making Pretty Woman 2. The closest that you can get with romantic comedies is doing what Rocky has described, with like this particular movie, which is reuniting an existing on-screen pair, hoping that audiences will be interested in revisiting the chemistry between the pair. Which is like what happened, I guess, last year when a studio was like, "What if we put Julia Roberts and George Clooney together on screen again?" And the answer was not much. Not much happened.
Well, I mean, to be fair, before that we did have Tom Hanks and like Meg Ryan, but I think that's more Nora Roberts than anything.
The thing about the Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan trilogy, is I think it's a really unique pair, and those are three really distinct films.
Correct.
Yeah, like Joe versus the Volcano is fucking nothing like You've Got Mail, and like
true,
and like basically like everybody involved with all of those movies, like hit it out of the park. Like they're like Sleepless in Seattle, something special.
Oh yeah, I have it. It's one of the few films I actually own these days.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh, you'd love it, Teeks. Like I mean that in my heart of hearts.
I don't know.
It's fair.
I mean, that's a pretty high bar.
I don't know. To be fair, also, I don't know any. You said Sleepless in Seattle. I don't know anything about that movie. All I've heard is the title now, and I'm like, I don't know. That doesn't sound like an interesting movie. It sounds like a movie about insomnia.
It is a little bit, but not really.
What? Interesting. Okay.
Let's see here. What else should we talk about? I suppose we've gotten around to games that I'm playing. And I wanted to, I guess, like talk about 3 games thus far that we haven't touched on so far today.
Sure.
The first of which is Hearthstone. Hearthstone, pretty much out of nowhere, launched a whole new mode.
Okay.
With its own ranked gameplay and everything. They launched a mode called Twist. And what the deal is with Twist is that the rules for Twist will change every season. And there's something about like right now for the current Twist season, the rules are decks may not contain neutral cards, so you can only use class-specific cards. And you have access to like cards from like 2019 forward. But like again, no neutrals. And like that's led to some really interesting gameplay and some really interesting decks. And like I'm just like out here completely just like wrecking house with like a variation of Quest Druid. And and like that's been a lot of fun. And like it kind of does something that I wanted from Hearthstone for a while.
Okay.
Which is a way to keep it like perpetually fresh. Because a season in Hearthstone is really like only like about 3-4 months long.
Sure.
And so like instead of like knowing that like say some card is going to like plague your gameplay for potentially like 2 years, and you're like, oh well, that's the Bleak Blorp. It's gonna be here for 2 years. Fuck you, card. Like twist means like that if Bleak Blorp is causing a bunch of trouble right now, there's a good chance it won't be around, or it won't be relevant in whatever the rules will be 3 months from now. Which is pretty cool.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Because something that like not just like perpetually refreshes like the pool of cards, but also refreshes the impact of those cards is a pretty cool idea. So I've been playing a lot of Twist. Like historically, when they've done stuff like introduce whole new like modes in the past, they really haven't gone like all in on them. Like where they introduced like a thing called like Mercenaries, which was their effort to like make roguelike Hearthstone. I'm like, yeah, but no. And
It's not why you play Hearthstone.
Yeah, and it's just like one of those things where like game development, like this is all stuff that happened like after like Ben Brode left the team, where they were just like taking like things that were like popular in other segments of gaming and just seeing if they could like staple it to Hearthstone. Be like, what if Hearthstone was a roguelike? And I'm like, yeah, and like what if like not? And like Mercenaries like fell entirely on its face. And then they introduced a thing called like duels, which was kind of like a like close to, but not quite like a sealed pack drafting thing. And I'm like, okay, I can't quite like it, so it's not like true like CCG drafting, but it shares some attributes with it, and also it also didn't kind of land because they tried to do stuff with like duels where there were like cards that only showed up in duels mode, and it's like, well, how do I prepare for these cards that only show up in duels? Plus, like with arena, they wanted you to spend gold every time you played in the arena. They're like, yeah, it's because you have the chance to win something, so there has to be a cost to enter. I'm like, or I could just never play arena. But this is the introduction of like a whole new ranked mode. Like I could like play ranked and like get monthly ranked rewards, and watch a whole season play out, like playing this like new thing, and like so far so good. And it's nice to have something which is like around long enough that can have an evolving meta and then disappear quickly enough that I don't get angry at it. So like, congratulations, Team 5, you did it. You did it.
That's kind of nice, actually.
Yeah. And it's kind of cool that they did it like a month before a new expansion drops. So like I very much enjoy like, because like generally like, so the usual months for Hearthstone expansions are April, August, and November. And so we were like starting to like look toward new expansion time, and they're like, hey, before we get to new expansion, how about this thing which will like really just like shake up how you play the game right now? And I'm like, I dig it, I'm into it. Like, what a cool idea. Let's see here. I've also I have finally gotten around to so I've been getting back into Hitman like a lot.
Okay.
And been playing a lot of Hitman, and one of the things that like because I had been like laid off of the game for so long, there was a whole DLC map that I hadn't played yet, called Ambrose Island. And so like I have been exploring Ambrose Island, and oh Nelly, it's definitely like a very it's definitely a very intimidating map. It's like set in the South Pacific. It's a small island, and part of the island is like controlled by like a pirate syndicate, and you're like there to like kill an arms dealer and a pirate, and also like disable this like satellite control system. And as far as like the way just like the island is laid out structurally, feels a lot like Sapienza. It feels like high stakes Sapienza all over the place.
Okay.
Yeah. So like,
okay, here I have one question.
Sure.
Do you get a funny pirate outfit?
Tegan, I am here to tell you that there is a funny pirate outfit available.
Yes. Okay, continue.
Yes, like I think one thing I've hopefully conveyed about Hitman in like the years that we've been talking about the game is that like it is a game which doesn't really advertise having a huge sense of whimsy, but has a huge sense of whimsy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so like Ambrose Island definitely has like multiple fun pirate outfits available. And like I've already discovered at least one like goofy dumb thing that you can do on Ambrose Island, which is that like some of the mercenaries who work for the arms dealer are like gathering in like town square in front of a bar, doing this like ridiculous contest where they take turns like throwing a punch at a local and then having a local throw a punch at them, and the first person like staggered who drops to their knees loses. And it's kind of like it's set up like a mini game, kind of like a rhythm game.
Okay.
And so I'm like, can I play this? And they're like, yes, you can. You can participate in this game. I'm like, that's kind of neat. And so I never had to take a punch because I just bodied everybody on their first attempt at me. And what this does is it gets the attention of the arms dealer guy who's just like, you just knocked out like 3 of my best mercenaries. Come be a mercenary for me. And this appears to be like a way for me to like create an opportunity to be around this guy alone, so that way I can do him a heckin' murder.
That's really clever.
Yeah, I mean, and it's one of those things that like Hitman always does, which is like, you know, contrive ways that you can get your targets alone. You know, which is like a good thing, and kind of like a cool. Like it's I always love like the different, like when we were talking earlier about Tears of the Kingdom, about one of the things I like about Tears of the Kingdom is like the way that systems interact with each other. Is I love getting back into Hitman and being like, oh, if I put an abandoned like handgun here, so a guard has to go like put the gun away, then like what happens when this person walks by alone without their personal guard? That kind of thing. Like I'm just loving getting back into that, and I love levels that are like, now that I know that like the internal language that IO Interactive uses to describe their levels are that they either refer to them as Swiss cheese levels or snails. I love levels that are combinations of snails and Swiss cheese. And Ambrose Island is a snail Swiss cheese level. So I'm like very, very much enjoying it. Definitely is like clicking all the boxes and the and a lot like Sapienza, where like Sapienza was like killing the 2 targets and Sapienza just became like second nature. It was like very easy. It's like, oh, okay, it's time to kill the 2 targets here. The thing that was it was always like more difficult in Sapienza was neutralizing the gene specific virus, and it really does appear to be an Ambrose Island that like the thing which is tough is disabling the satellite, because you have to first get to like the highly restricted area, but in addition to that, like there are all kinds of like conditions on top of like how to disable the satellite, and like it looks like there's a way to disable the satellite without even having to go over into the area where the satellite control system is. But it's going to require like figuring out like who holds like both satellite control key cards and like knocking them out and taking their satellite control key cards, which is going to mean like playing a fun game of like prowling and listening to every NPC conversation so I can figure out who might be the person holding the cards. And I love anything in Hitman that gives me an opportunity to like immerse myself into the writing that they do for that game, because like the level writing is always just so much fun, and it has been like it's hitting all the notes for me. Like it's very funny, it's very tense. It does what I want. So in addition to Hearthstone and Hitman, I have been playing a game which doesn't start with H.
And Tears of the Kingdom, which starts with an L.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. I've also been playing this game called Universal Paperclips.
Okay.
Which is a auto clicker, and I love auto clickers. Especially when they like get out of hand and start to have like weird stories in them and like go places you don't expect. And so like Universal Paperclips is like, okay, click this button to make a paperclip, and I'm like, go on. And so then like I click the button to make a paperclip. And then eventually I had enough money to buy a set of auto clippers for making paper clips. And then I racked up enough money to get like about 120 auto clippers. So I was making paper clips, I thought, at a decent pace. And then I got a thing which automatically buys me new spools of wire whenever I run low. To get more paper clips automatically. And so then I got a thing that allows me to take my my money that I earn from making paper clips, and invest them into a stock market. And so now I'm, in addition to managing my paperclip clicking, I also have to manage my investment portfolio.
Fair enough.
They put investments in your clicker game. Are the investments also clicks?
Oh, of course.
Oh God. Sounds like a nightmare.
And so then I was like, I need to be more effective at my investments, and so then I put money into quantum computing, which allowed me to eventually create a strategic modeling system that allowed me to predict what investments to make. Which is a good thing, which allowed me to eventually purchase what are called mega clippers, which are even more effective auto clippers.
Mhm.
And so now, like I'm now currently producing 130,000 paper clips per second. And the public demand I have for paper clips is 51,401%. And I'm able to charge people 59 cents per paper clip. And this is
No.
because I have now bought out the other two largest manufacturers of paper clips in the world. And I effectively have a monopoly on paper clips. And it appears to be that shit is getting real, because the most recent thing that has happened in the game was like I took two different actions which I thought were going to be unrelated. Turned out they were not. One was I purchased some drones in order to deliver people their paper clips.
Oh no.
Rocky, why do you say "oh no" with a note of resignation?
What's the second thing, Brian?
Well, I thought it might be helpful to purchase some like advanced AI modeling to predict.
Oh my god. Oh no.
What happened, Brian? What happened next?
Well, I appear to now be locked in a war against the machines.
Oh, curious.
They rose up? Is that what happened?
They did in fact rise up. And it could be that I'm now engaged in an interstellar war that started with the manufacturer of paper clips.
It will likely end with the manufacturer of paper clips.
Oh
I love a good clicker game, y'all. They're so much fucking fun because like when you start figuring out like, okay, like what happens now? What happens now? Like what if I do this? Can I figure out how to outsource this clicking so I can instead click this? Because it's all about like because these games are never really about like can I figure out how to not press this button so that I can press this button instead.
Right.
And like it's always just so much fun when it just leads to the wildest bullshit. And like this is definitely one of those where now I have an interstellar war. And like one of the most recent things that has just popped up as an option of a thing that I can buy is to build a memorial to the fallen.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, can I ask you just, an innocuous question at the moment?
Sure.
This game, it keeps a tally of how many paper clips you've made, right?
Yes, it does, Rocky.
Can you tell me how many paper clips you've made so far?
I've made 4.5 trillion paper clips, Rocky.
Okay, I see. All right. So there's still a ways to go. There's still a chance for the universe, Brian, but we'll find out, I guess.
Oh my god.
Tika,
Is this the job? Is this what happens in clicker games? Is this normal?
Sometimes. It's not normal, but it isn't unexpected.
Oh my god. I've never played a clicker game in my life, and you know what? Maybe that's a good thing.
Tika, it's so much fun.
I don't need to be in an interstellar war with the AI I created or hired.
For paper clips, by
For
the way.
paper clips, over paper clips.
Mm-hmm.
I know that
seems like the scaling is off the charts.
I think that's the joke. That's the appeal, actually, Tegan.
Yes. God, I know that like this. This is, I don't think, the first auto clicker I've talked about on this show.
It is not.
It is not. Yeah.
Because it is a genre that I have a taste for.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that the way I put it on the show is I like to watch the numbers go higher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole genre of gameplay right there. Number go up. Big number go burr.
It's and there's just nothing like being like, that's right, baby, I'm making 130,000 paper clips per second. I know how to fuck, and it just feels good. And like there was one I played a few years ago where there were like these sentient potatoes, and like they um they just wanted to leave Earth, and they were like, please free us. And eventually, like, you collapse the universe into singularity. um that one was like, I remember that one was from Devolver. Of course,
That
like,
sounds like a Devolver game.
yeah. And then of course, like, there's the classic. There's the classic cookie clicker.
Right.
Where the game's like, "Hello, friend, just want to click this cookie, hoyo," and like,
Cookie
um,
Clicker is not Cookie Run. These are different games.
Different games, yes.
Okay.
yes,
Cool.
Yeah.
One of them has BTS in it. The other one is a clicker game.
Right.
yes.
Is Cookie Run also a clicker game? Or is it not considered? I don't know necessarily, I guess, what the considerations are to be just a clicker game, as opposed to a game where the way you interact with it is you click on the screen.
So, like, clickers usually are like management sims. Not always, but they're management sims where your primary interaction is simply clicking, and like clicking more gets you more output.
Okay. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. There's been an awful lot of Universal Paperclips of late.
Mhm.
I've even started doing the thing, Rocky. This is how I know I'm in deep. Is where nothing like leaving the device that you're playing the clicker game on, running all night with the clicker game open, so that way you could bank those auto clicks, baby. Like, just going to sleep, going, that's right, I'm banking my clicks while I sleep. And I've been banking my clicks while I sleep. That's how I know I'm in deep with Universal Paperclips. You're like, clicker games, have you when you're like, can I turn my sleeping hours into more clicks? So that is so I guess, yeah, those are the 4 games I've been spending time with. Tears of the Kingdom, Hitman, Hearthstone, and Universal Paperclips.
For sure.
Yeah. Let's see here. I would like to, if it'd be all right with y'all, talk a little bit briefly about Microsoft versus FTC.
Okay.
Yeah. It looks like I think the thing that's probably the most interesting to me that has come out of the hearings associated with the case is there are a lot of internal documents from Microsoft which have now been made available, related to studios that they considered purchasing, and why they considered buying them. And one of the ones that I thought was like most interesting, like, was that they were considering buying Sega, like wholesale, and like their reasons for wanting to buy Sega was like extensive back catalog, history, trust with the gaming community, and the idea of buying Sega would create more of like a backward perception of history associated with like Microsoft's like position in the marketplace.
Right. Yeah.
And like at this point, I'd say, like, come on, Microsoft. Like, at this point, you have a history. Like Xbox is now at this point like 20 years old. Like,
Yeah, but they don't like their history. They're not the heroes.
Are they the villains?
Not exactly. I still think Apple is the villains. Is to be honest. Maybe Ubisoft, but that's another thing. But they don't like where they are in history, so they're trying to buy a new spot.
Yeah, they're trying to revise their story. I mean, there is kind of like a historical connection between like Microsoft and Sega at the launch of the first Xbox, because there were a whole bunch of games that were in development at Sega that were supposed to be on the Dreamcast. That what ended up happening instead was that like Sega retooled them to be like near launch titles for the first Xbox. So like there is some of that when like that when Sega was like figuring out where to put games, like once they canceled their hardware, they spread out their exclusives, across 3 platforms at the time, PS2, GameCube, and Xbox. But oftentimes like favoring the Xbox, which is why I got stuff like Jet Set Radio Future.
True.
Yeah, but like the idea of just like revising their own history by purchasing a longer history, I'm like, that's wild. That's wild. And like one of the other things that they said that they liked about the idea of purchasing Sega was like the idea of like, desirable mascot brand identity. Like
They wanted Sonic?
Yeah, that's the one. That beloved Microsoft character Sonic.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I mean, that's what you get when you don't create your own lovable mascot.
And again, like this is one of those things where I think that they struggle with like understanding what they have, like as far as like internally developed, IP, like they. Like near the very launch of Xbox, this is not a new acquisition. Like we know about the companies which are like part of the recent flurry of studio purchases from Microsoft, but back at the launch of Xbox, that was when they bought Rare, and so like I'm willing to call like Rare characters like Microsoft characters, and it's like, all right, look, man, like y'all got Banjo and Kazooie, like those are characters that like game fans have a great deal of affinity for. They really do. Also, when you want to talk about like beloved and iconic, like characters associated with like game companies, you can't do much better than the Master Chief. I mean, what the fuck, man? But like so it's just weird to me that like so much of what the reason that they wanted to like buy Sega was like tied up in identity. They also mentioned like the idea that like that there's like deep loyalty around Sega brands, like deep loyalty around Sega brands, and they're like there are people who will buy like our buy into our ecosystem because like they can't miss a Sonic game or they can't miss a Yakuza game. And like, yeah, or a Persona game. Like, yeah, there is that real deep brand loyalty there, but but one of the things like looking at these documents is that it looks like Microsoft really did think that they could just like solve all of their problems with their checkbook. Like if we buy enough studios, the problems will go away.
Well, historically, it's worked for a lot of people.
So here are some studios that they thought about buying and like what they said about them in their documents about like why they thought they would be a good purchase. They talked about buying Zynga. Zynga, y'all.
I'm forgetting that Zynga did games because like I just think of them as the blog website.
I kind of wish they had done it, honestly.
And they said strong franchises and content breadth. World class in designing and making and running successful games.
Sure.
They talked about purchasing Niantic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And their reason for that was very strong technology infrastructure. Focus on XR and innovative mobile experience.
Oh god, why can't I remember? Ingress, is it Ingress? Was that the name of the game before Pokemon Go?
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ingress was actually a really cool idea, and it was innovative. Like, it was a good look, but like, they didn't get it.
Their notes on a potential purchase of Supergiant Games are
I'm glad they didn't end up buying Supergiant.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I were a game company and I were on this list, I'd take it as a compliment because, like, they thought we were cool enough to buy. And also, these are the strengths that they're highlighting. So, like, if you could just build on those, then, like, you know, good
It's
for
funny
you
what they
guys.
list as it's funny what they list as the con for Supergiant. Supergiant, they said, as their asset, developer of top indie titles, including Hades.
Mm-hmm.
Con or downside, strong likely desire to remain indie and have indie culture.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Because they want to assimilate them into Microsoft culture, and that probably wouldn't work.
That's the
Don't like
one.
Microsoft culture.
Here's one that seems weird. Bungie.
Okay, hold on.
Now that Rocky, everything that you're thinking is correct, and it is as confusing as you think.
All right, cool. Got it.
Okay, Rocky, what is the company that Microsoft has previously owned?
Bungie?
That is correct.
Yeah, and then they spun off like alone on their own, which we assumed was like on good terms. But like, hey, what if we bought Bungie again? Or maybe someone didn't know, and they were just like, Bungie's a good gaming company, right? We should buy them.
And, like, you just start to picture that time, and like the conference room, it's like, hey, Phil, we did that one already.
They got super excited about it. It's like, man, Destiny 2 is kind of everywhere. Like everyone I know plays it. Like, why can't Microsoft own them? Think of how strong they would be together. Like a fucking dumbass.
Like, man, can you picture we got those guys working on Halo? Ooh.
Oh man, that would have been great. I would have loved to be following that wall.
The assets listed for Bungie are owner of AAA franchises with an established ability to ship and scale games. And the downside listed for Bungie is, and this is funny when people compare like the way Halo used to feel versus the way Halo feels now, is internal quality control mechanisms may slow development.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Because there's a whole bunch of people out there that will tell you that Halo has not felt good since Halo Reach. And the last good mainline Halo game was Halo 3.
Yeah.
Here's one that I'm breathing a sigh of relief on. IO Interactive.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah. Owner of AAA franchises, with specialized expertise in regional IP game launch, expertise at incremental development. Downsides, potential niche interest. The other thing which I wanted to mention is that, like, part of Microsoft's contention in this case, and the reason that they say that they should be allowed to buy Activision Blizzard, what they told the judge, that they should be allowed to buy Activision Blizzard because they have lost, past tense, the console war. And that they did very badly at the console war, and that the console war is truly at this point Sony versus Nintendo. And because they lost the console war, it's okay for them to own Activision Blizzard.
Well, I mean, that's dumb.
It is dumb, Rocky.
However, it might work, which is kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, like, and they're like, see, they're like, look at all these documents that prove that we always ship less boxes. We're dumb as shit. Just look at us. We're just country farmers. Just look at us. We're dumb. We push on pull doors. And it's like, come on, Microsoft, and it really comes down to like whether or not the judge buys it, because something I know that we have talked about at length on this show is that Microsoft is no longer interested in selling little boxes that sit underneath your television.
Correct.
The fact that sometimes there are little boxes underneath your television is incidental to their long-term plan.
Mhm.
Like, their goal is to control the pipeline of how you put software onto whatever box there is under your television.
Correct.
Or onto your computer or whatever. They're just like, they want to control the pipeline. Oh, yeah. So, like, if the judge believes it's about hardware, then they get Activision Blizzard. If the judge is just like, nice try, guys, you don't care about little boxes, then they don't. So,
Okay, but like also, the UK and the EU both already ruled on this, right?
Mhm.
And like the UK was like no, and the EU was like yes. So it really does feel like this is a tiebreaker.
Yeah, I mean, if they lose the NA market, like that's just that is a big issue for them. But honestly, Microsoft is big enough that they could actually just operate like their software business in EU and just like not operate in the US and just keep lobbying until like not enough people are paying attention.
and and this comes back to like things like what happens, like, and there's also like the notion of like filibustering the deal long enough so that way they get a potentially friendly administration in place that will like greenlight the deal. Which is how you got stuff like Warner Brothers Discovery, because they knew that was something that they were able to like get done during the Trump administration, because they knew that that would be an administration that was like more friendly to the deal without oversight and not examining like the consequences of the deal. And so I could see Microsoft like say trying to like revisit this, or stall it until after the the 2024 election somehow. Like, but I mean, if one thing, like if Epic versus Apple taught us anything,
Mhm.
it's that like the judges who are ruling in these cases have like minimal understanding of the marketplaces that they're ruling on, and it is to the interest of participating attorneys for like the corporations represented to like misrepresent actual marketplace conditions to get what they want. Like the bullshit that went on in like Apple versus Epic was like ridiculous. And like Microsoft getting up there and just be like, oh yeah, we're those big known losers, Microsoft. It's like ridiculous. Like, I think there's like, here's a good rule of hand. Tell me what y'all think of this. If your company has ever been in such a position that there has previously been an antitrust case brought against you, then maybe you don't get to talk about yourself as perpetual marketplace losers ever.
I don't think anyone's going to buy that Microsoft's a bunch of losers, but I feel like while that line may be useful, it may be ultimately more prejudicial than probative.
Oh, goodness.
I agree that it reflects reality at the moment, but like, let's say Microsoft were actually the losers that they claim to be. Like, if they were Ubisoft instead of like Microsoft, I guess maybe that wouldn't be a helpful rule in like looking at them. But I do agree that Microsoft pretending to be losers is outrageous and shouldn't take up anyone's time in deciding this case.
And that has been your FTC versus Microsoft update.
Word.
Okay. Is there anything else that we wanted to talk about today, which is news-ish?
I have a silly little story.
Okay.
It starts with everyone's favorite black, non-binary, queer, furry fighting game player, Sonic Fox. And it sounds a little unrelated at first. Chess.com recently announced an event called PogChamps 5, where they'll have 16 content creators play in an elimination tournament in chess. And Sonic Fox was invited. He's been getting into chess lately. He's been tweeting about it a lot. And he was really excited to be included. However, there is a man who is also on Twitter who refers to themselves as GG the mid-tier god, if I remember correctly. Let me just look at this one more time. GG Maiden Slayer, the mid-tier god, excuse me. Who challenged not only Sonic Fox's interest in chess, but his proficiency in fighting games without the courtesy of a Google search. And so Sonic Fox looked at this response from this man and he said, you know what? Fine. Let's money match in, I don't know, Mortal Kombat 11. If I win, if you win, I will give you $10,000. But if I win, you become a furry. And while that was a completely out-of-hand wager for most people, it's especially poignant for GG Maiden Slayer because he's an avowed anti-furry. If you ever happen to stumble across his Twitter account, you will see hundreds, if not thousands, of tweets of him just berating like VTubers and furries on the internet. But he accepted this challenge, believing Sonic Fox to be an overhyped fraud. And so Sonic Fox started up his stream and created a lobby to play this man in MK11. And not only did he beat him 10-0, in the last match, he used a mechanic in Mortal Kombat 11 called Mercy, where you get an opponent when you've defeated them in the match and they're waiting for a fatality, you can input a series of commands to give your opponent an extra bit of health to try to let them fight again. And not only did he kill him immediately on the next touch, but he also opened the character command screen so he could look up the fatality he wanted to use on stream and beat him like that. And almost minutes afterward, he was dubbed a new furry with this green duck, which you may recognize as reminiscent of the Duck Hunt duck from the NES game Duck Hunt.
Amazing.
Also, just minor note, not super important. I put some links in the chat. GG Maiden Slayer, the mid-tier god, is an avowed fan of low-tier god, who is also a famously scrubby, although probably one of the best trash-talking fighting game players in the world. He's terrible. I mean, I could beat him, to be honest. You can quote me on that. But he talks a lot of shit and has actually made it his business at this point.
Is part of his like strat to get into people's heads by talking shit?
Yes, it is. But you know,
makes you throw on accident.
But honestly, against most players, like it just doesn't work. Like he doesn't have the mechanics. He can't handle it. But yeah, that's something that happened this past week. So, what up, I guess.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely wild.
Also, this guy, Maiden Slayer, tweets a lot.
Does he?
Yeah, he tweets so much. I'm going to link his account here. Maybe I'll put it... We still have a show doc, right? Yeah, I'll put it in the show doc for the patrons if they want to look at it too. But it's mostly vitriol. It's a huge mess, but he tweets so much.
How do you think he's handling the new rate limiting on Twitter?
Ah, God, I hope he's being punished severely. He doesn't pay for Twitter Blue, so there is that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, wait, I realized I put the links to the tweets. I should have just put the images in here so they're easier to look at.
It's all right.
There's one, and there is the other. I love this one with the low tier god image in the background, and he's just like kneeling with tears. It's so good, absolutely incredible.
It is a grand time. I guess he can just quack all he wants. But
It's funny because he's still yelling about stuff on Twitter, and like people are like hitting him with a bunch of furry and duck memes. Like there was one that I think I just retweeted, because I was trying to pull up the tweets for this story, and there is an image where it's like, "Ooh, who's an edgy boy? Who's an edgy boy? Yes, you are. Ooh, what a hot take! Your statements are so controversial. What an edgy boy." With a picture of a man petting a duck.
Jesus Christ. He's so good.
oh my god, a delight.
Ammo, you little duck.
Look at you. Oh, you want to have some water? Put some strawberries in it.
Oh man.
God.
Yeah. Also, apparently he keeps talking about how he's in an anti-furry like Discord where his community allowed him to play against Sonic Fox as long as he didn't lose. Oh man, I don't remember if he's actually been kicked from the Discord, but I do remember him shouting about how he has 11 years of fighting game experience and that was what he was going to take to Sonic Fox. What a time.
Nice.
Yeah, right. Fuck.
God damn. That's goddamn.
Mm-hmm.
Rocky, that okay. I guess I have a question.
Sure.
Columbus Corn Clown?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's my current Twitter name. I honestly don't remember why I changed it to that. Oh wait, no, I do. We were playing. There's a game that you told us about a long time ago. I was playing it with my friend, well, my other Brian, Hennessy. It's the one where you're a DJ in a small town where like horror movie murders are happening, and you have to guide everyone through like the murders. It's also a VR game. It originally came out on the Meta Quest. It's like Killer something.
And this was a game I talked about?
Yeah, you mentioned being interested in it. I don't think you actually played it. Killer Frequency. That was the name of the game.
Okay. My brain is a sieve.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Yeah, me and Hennessy, he was playing it, but I was just kind of hanging out because he struggles with horror games. They are spooky. So I was there for moral support and occasionally to help with puzzles from now and again. And we played through the game. We saved everybody. It was wild.
Fantastic. Everyone goes home a winner.
Mm-hmm. There's we kind of want to do the playthrough where we like fuck up everything and everyone dies, but we're not there yet.
Like those like super massive games, you know, where you take like the 20 somethings, the youngsters, and you're like, all right, everybody, have a good weekend until dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, here comes the Goople Gobble monster, and it's gonna just eat you from the taint up.
Yeah, this one was pretty silly. I think it was called The Whistling Man, if I remember correctly.
Oh no.
Yeah, right.
Oh no.
It was a good time, and like, it's like it's a first person like VR game, but like you basically like have the one map, which is like the radio station. And like everything that you need to like continue through like the story is either like in the radio station or like immediately outside of it. And so it's very well designed. It leans heavily on its voice acting and like there are good performances. I had a great time like exploring the space and like learning about all these characters and interacting with them. You help a lady hotwire a car to escape the killer. You guide someone through like a hedge maze, like using a map that you like have on premise. You look at like a map of the city to guide like first responders to people like after like people have been stabbed and stuff. It's pretty cool. Good time.
Right.
Weird way to DJ, but okay.
Yeah, true. You also find records throughout the radio station to like play, because some of them are like special editions or like first or like like demos that are like in like the boss's office and shit. But
All right. Well, gosh, everybody, is that a show?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm.
All right, Rocky, take us home.
Oh, right. How do I do this? So everyone, this has been a podcast. I believe it's called Impossible Coin. You can find it wherever podcasts are found, except for SoundCloud. Fuck SoundCloud. But there's one bright spot about SoundCloud, and it's our kid brother, Big Sach, and he put together the music at the beginning and end of this podcast. And you can find his work at soundcloud.com, /NJ. But if you don't like SoundCloud the way that we don't, then you can find him on Bandcamp at betweenrooms.bandcamp.com. Our logo is also on a t-shirt and a hoodie, I think, but it was designed by Lauren Moran, who's way too good for us. But she's on Twitter, as long as Twitter continues to exist, at Lauren Moran. And you can find her on Patreon as well. We also have a Patreon. Billing suspended for the time being because, content has been slippery these days.
Oh,
but
they got billed for July. They just didn't get billed for June.
Okay. So I guess billing resumed. So I guess keep an eye on your statements. And there, if you're interested in, supporting our Patreon, you'll find our artisanal show notes, our bespoke watch-alongs, and audio essays about stuff that we care about. I believe we might have a 90 Day Fiancé follow-up in the future. Who knows? We'll see. Also, I forgot to mention Big Sasha's Twitter is Hillary_Swank, because it's just such a killer name. Hillary_Swank. Let's fucking go. What else do I normally do?
I want to follow up on the topic of Sach for just a second. I want to send Sach a special shout-out. Sach, congratulations on getting married.
Oh, yeah, man. Congratulations.
Yeah. So I think this is the first time that we sat down to record since Sach got hitched. So, yeah, friend of the show. Congratulations. Saw the picture of you and the Mrs. with your rings. Y'all look so happy. Y'all look so cute. I wish the absolute best for you both.
This is also the episode where we do our normal Patreon shoutouts.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Which Big Sach is a patron.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Brian, do you need a moment to get that list? Because I think I have a couple more things I think I have to do here.
Oh, sure. Yeah, let me just grab that.
All right.
Take me a moment.
Yeah. So also, in addition to the podcast, we stream on Twitch. We're there. Oh, Jesus, is it 3-4 days a week, something like that? But it's at twitch.tv/impossiblecoin. Tegan is still playing Tears of the Kingdom. I'm supposed to be playing Street Fighter 6, but I got distracted last week. And I'm still playing Final Fantasy 14. And there's Splatoon Saturdays, where we play Splatoon on Saturday mornings to get better at the game and dive into its ongoing waves of content. Actually, I think there's a Splatfest coming up. Is it next week or is it this week?
It's not this week. It should be next week.
Okay.
Next week they'll start the advertising for it, so it should be next week. The ice cream Splatfest.
True. That's right. We're mint, right?
Yeah, we're gonna make Team Mint chocolate chip. Superior ice cream flavor and Hatsune Miku colored.
Actually, if I remember correctly, I think Twan also really likes mint ice cream.
Excellent.
I think he does. I gotta remember, but I'm pretty sure.
Well, in that case, Twan is correct.
Hell yeah.
We can be friends.
Good for you, Twan.
Okay. All right. So we shout out our current active patrons.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, thank you to Chat of the Wild so much. Thanks to Nebula. Thanks to Joe Spiro, longtime granddad of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Again, thank you, Sach. And thanks to our Burt Reynolds, Big Money Bags, Diamond Jim, Twan Castillo.
Hey.
And we definitely appreciate the other folks who help make the show happen, help us produce additional content, and really help point us in the right direction when it comes as far as like making sure that we're creating a show which is fun for all of our listeners. And I think that is it, everybody. So with that, I'll just say peace.
Bye.
Thank you for podcasting.
You suck.